And hello. Hello. There it is. We are live. Hello, everyone. Everyone here. Everyone here. Wave to who's ever going to be watching this. Dave. There's a lot of hands going up over there. Uh, Everyone from Pennsylvania to England, kind of covering this spectrum, and we're doing our little gratitude challenge. Basically, the start of kind of go get it life and what we're trying to do. So these are just some of the amazing people that are starting it with us with their incredible stories. So again, I'm not Ralph Macchio. This is Theo. I played Juice on a show recently called Sons of Anarchy. That's all changing now. And everyone next to me is if we go down the list, I got Dave. Dave, say hello. Let's see, down the list here. Then we got, it's funny, Dave's comes up as Larry. It's very funny. Dave's comes up as Larry. So I hope there's a Larry there, because it just keeps coming up as Larry.
I'm sitting right next to him, Theo.
All right, good. So Larry, you're taking all the credit for this. Okay. And then we have Emily right there. Emily, say hello.
Hello.
And then we have Christina, I know, yes. And then Chrissy, and then Charmaine. Got it. I'm in now. Now I'm in. So, so basically, we did this. We started last night, and it was really cool. Like this, I said this yesterday, and I'll just say it again. This was like something that was super unexpected. I guess most really good things in life are. And it was just something that I thought would be cool to do around the holidays, and it turned into a massive thing that thousands of letters and videos and all this stuff from people around the world, and it was really motivating to me and to everybody that was involved, and it made for a really great holiday to see people doing such great things. So we decided to do this little thing and to get everybody to hear everybody's stories, and because what we've been seeing with the blogs and through social media is how responsive people are and how great it is for people to get their own stories out of stuff that's either happened to them or things they're doing, and it's getting a lot of other people involved, and it's kind of cool. We're calling it like the butterfly effect. If one person reaches one person, so and it's cool because like I've been saying from the day one is I'm also a huge fan of Sons, so it's kind of cool to talk to some of the people who also watch the show, and now that it's all over with, I haven't really talked to many people about how they felt and what they thought of the ending and all that stuff. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to go to Dave or Larry, either one at this point, and just say tell everybody who you guys are, where you are, and what you guys did for your gratitude challenge, and then we'll talk.
Well, I'm Dave. This is Larry.
That's right.
This is Lauren.
Jamie.
Doug. Robin. My wife Sandy.
Hi, Theo.
Hey,
Very excited.
Love you.
Danver.
I love you.
Ethan. Buzz and Doc. This is about.
Hi,
This is
Jamie.
about-
Jamie's the only one that didn't say hello. She didn't care. Jamie's like, I'm not saying hello to anybody. That's cool, Jamie. I get it. I already see how it is. So tell everybody what you guys did, because it's again, right away when I saw everything you guys were doing, of course I was immediately intrigued because I felt like I was at work, and then just seeing it all, I thought it was really cool, especially for me. Just quickly, I've always said this from day one, and I want to say this to anybody who will hear it. The reason why Sons of Anarchy was so successful is because they underestimated the biker community. And the biker community is probably some of the greatest, most loyal, dedicated, fundraising, do more good things than anybody I've ever seen. And some of the most money we've ever raised for a lot of the charities that we have are through bike runs, and the community came together incredibly. They always do for everything. And when I saw this, it was just another example of that. And I love showing people that, because the what people feel about or what they think they know is actually the complete opposite of what most people who ride are. So it's really cool to see that. So thank you guys. But go ahead, tell everybody what's up.
First of all, Theo, we are all big Sons of Anarchy fans.
Nice.
That's how the whole thing started. We're a group of friends. We're all bikers, and the way it started, I was having breakfast one day and heard about this family that had a son that had cerebral palsy. The father was out of work. His unemployment ran out. They had 2 other children, and the only income they had was her working part-time. He brought it to church. We said, this is what we're about. Let's do something. And this is a made-for-TV movie. Where I worked in a penitentiary, I had a friend that was a Mason, and I contacted him because we were trying to raise money to get a wheelchair. He told us that the Shriners would take him down, take care of all his medical. When they did that, they found out he was misdiagnosed, and he had a tumor. And because of the club, he now walks. So you don't have to be an extraordinary person to do extraordinary things.
So true. So true. And it's absolutely that story, and it's so funny because we say things like that so like just this, you know, this is kind of what happened, and it's something that actually shifted the course of someone's entire life, which in entail will shift the course of a bunch of other people's lives, and it's because of what you guys did, and that's kind of what this whole thing's about. That's what it is. You know, we all, you know, I say this a lot, and now that the show's over, I can say it a lot more before, you know, all these movies come out, and I probably can't say anything about my past and who I was and what it was. And, you know, the thing is we all had a certain way of living. We all had a certain way of thinking. We all had a certain way that, you know, maybe who we were and now we are now, you know, how we are now. And the thing is doing the right thing, doing the good thing, you know, it's everybody I feel wants to do it. They just need somebody to kind of lead them in that path, you know, and that's what I feel like, you know, what everybody on this call, you know, and everybody that the 1,000 submissions we got and a lot of people that I talk to every day, man, some of these people that I've talked to, you know, recovering from everything from, you know, drugs, abuse, you know, different things in their lives, and have just come out the other side and now have made, you know, not just their life, but a lot of other people's lives better. And you guys are a perfect example of that. So I thank you so much for that. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible.
The thing that's amazing, Theo, real quick, the following year when we did our second one, the people that we helped the first year without anybody asking them, they were there to help set up the ride, to help serve people. The third year, the first 2 showed up. The fourth year, we expect we'll see everybody there.
You definitely will.
So you know, it's like we got them back on their feet, and they want to help too. So it's got a ripple effect.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's all about. All right. Here before that, and it's incredible, and that's why your story. That's why everybody's reading it. That's why everybody loves it. You know, and that's why on GoGetItLife.com, what we're doing is that, you know, when people read these things, we could be somebody who knows where they're reading it and who knows how it affects them, but it could do something. So here's my thing. I have 2 questions. I have one question for you. First question is, how cold does it have to be that you don't ride? Because mine is what's like the lowest for you?
We haven't found it yet.
I've had contact.
You haven't found it yet. Wow. I am a complete candy ass. Okay. It was like 65 degrees for me. Okay. Number 2. What do you guys got? What's your question? Tell me something. Ask me something.
We'll let the girls do that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How was that last piece of pie?
You know what, man? I am so... That cherry pie got real sickening after a little while. It definitely got really sickening. But, you know, here's the thing. That was one of those scenes, right, where when you read it and you read that line, you go, wow, this is this is going to be really sad, you know, because everybody, I think, you know, I've always said, you know, with the show, like, I knew Juice had to go, you know what I mean, and I wanted, I just said I wanted him to go. Everybody, the benchmark is always Opie, right? You know, the I got this Opie. That's kind of the benchmark. You know, you want to get to that, and I thought. I was so thankful that Kurt put in that line, you know, because it was like now you have a line, and I see it and I hear it everywhere I go, and it's like once you get that line, just let me finish my pie. And when you think about it, even that's a sad, sad line, man. And at the same time, knowing that he was still protecting these guys right up until the end, no matter what people said to him, no matter what. So you know, I've always. I really like that. So, you know, again, how did it taste? Man, it was different. It was definitely different. You guys are the best. All right, Emily, what's up? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Good.
How's
Doing
everything?
really good.
You're in Missouri.
I am.
Mizzou, as they call it. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, we're about. This is Gavin.
Hey, Gavin.
We're about 90 miles from Columbia, which is where Mizzou is. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had friends that went there and went to school there, and I know all that. So tell everybody, Em, kind of what you did for your gratitude challenge.
Well, my original challenge was more on the lines of self-improvement for myself and how things were going to be left in 2014, and you know, I was going to look at things a different way, and I just couldn't find the right words, and you know, pulling up old demons and stuff, it got kind of difficult. So my 8-year-old son Gavin came over, and he's like, he asked me what I was doing. I explained the challenge to him and what it meant, and he asked me if he could help me, which he's always a good helper. And I said, you know, it's kind of baffled. I'm like, okay, well, you know, what do you want to talk about? And he said sports. So I videoed him, and I wasn't expecting the ending part. So, you know, me trying not to cry.
No. It made me cry, so don't worry about it. And like I said, the difference between me and I said it last night, me and Juice is Juice cries. I never do for some reason. And all of a sudden, this gratitude challenge came along, and I felt like Juice and I had switched bodies for a minute. I was like, "What is happening?" I'm crying like season 4 Juice all of a sudden. I'm watching these gratitude challenges. The video is incredible to me, and obviously Gavin is just his attitude is like the attitude I strive to have every single day, and you know, I think that's why you know, children and dogs have it figured out, and you know, we're the ones who get kind of jaded at the end. So it was super self-improvement to me is everything, because it's like when you do you and you take care of yourself, it kind of seems to take care of the rest of the world. You know, it's like a mirror to everybody else. So I just thank you so much for sending that video and that story, and Gavin and everything about it, because it's just amazing that you really can. There's nothing that can stop people if you want to do whatever you want to do.
He's an amazing kid. We knew about his hand before he was born through ultrasounds, and me and my husband, he's not here. He's a firefighter, so he's on duty right now, or else he'd be here. We made a promise that there wasn't going to be any opportunity that this kid wouldn't have, or you know, we were going to, whether we sold everything we had or gave him our hand, you know, we knew he wasn't going to. Well, we were going to do whatever we could in our power to not make him feel different, to make him feel like he could do anything as anybody else. And you know, now he plays every sport. Honestly, we can't find a sport he sucks at. It's almost ridiculous. But his attitude is just amazing, and for me to actually be able to take credit for that, I mean,
Of course you do. Yeah.
there's no better person to do this challenge than the person that inspires me. So
That's
he's pretty
amazing.
awesome.
That's fantastic. It's terrific. It's amazing. And our parents, ultimately at the end, our parents define us good and bad. Kind of what happens, usually in our whole journey of this. So that's incredible. So give me a question, Em. What do you got?
Well, he kind of answered my questions last night. So
Which one?
is
What
there
was your
any
question? Not the
about
12,
the
27, 80.
numbers?
Was that?
Do what?
Was it the date? The date, the 12, 27, 80? That one? Yeah.
Yeah, the
That one
date.
was, that was funny because, I must have got, it felt like thousands of people asked me about it, and it felt like thousands of people came up with theories, and no one ever guessed that one, which is kind of odd. Some people kind of, messed around with it, kind of got close to it when they referenced the father a little, but they never referenced, that was the day he kind of went. And I just thought that whole thing, talking about it last night, which was the first time I ever talked about it, it really kind of set the stage for exactly what, Juice kind of became over those 7 years. So, yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of actually say it. It wasn't like I wasn't saying it for a reason. I just wanted to hold it till everybody else on this heard it first. So, cool. Well, you're great, and Gavin's amazing. So, yeah, amazing. Christina, what's up?
Hi, Theo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm well. I got no complaints. And
That's
if I
good to
do, I
hear.
just wouldn't say them on here, but I don't. I'm good.
I
What's
won't
going
tell
on?
Doing good. I was actually inspired by my mom. I think everybody in my family, they like to help. My mom's a paramedic, got a lot of sheriffs, fire department people. So that kind of has put me in a place to really want to help people. And I got into working with kids with autism when I was about 19, 20. And it is definitely a challenging field sometimes.
Yeah.
The kids are really great. Every day is a new adventure for me. And in the most difficult moments, I realized how important it is to have people to lean on, to have people to help you out. And that's why I decided to really give back to all my coworkers in the field that I see giving so much of themselves to the kids.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. Like, what was so cool, and we had somebody last night, like with the in Ireland who had just given out like juice boxes and stuff to, and those were the people didn't even know. It's like sometimes I think it was Betty Davis said, like, I'm a crazy like film historian or whatever. Betty Davis said, like, if just like producers or studio people just said like good job, they'd probably save a ton of money, because the reason actors always ask for all this money is that they're all just looking for like self-approval of some type, right? And
Right.
what I've always thought is like, in producing our, in our first film, our company, and a lot of things we do is that we're constantly like just showing people how grateful we are, or and because sometimes that's all people kind of want is like, we're doing this thing and we're all kind of just going, and we're going to go to sleep and we're going to wake up and we're going to go to sleep and we're going to wake up, and we keep moving, and it's like sometimes it's just like, hey, here's these cupcakes, here's this, here's that, I appreciate you. And it's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So yeah, that was really inspiring, because it's just, those are the things we forget sometimes. And the reason why a lot of people don't do things is because they think they need to do things on really uh, a grand scale, and they don't. You don't. You can just do little things. There was a woman last night who made it a point, the one from Labrador, Canada, made it a point to smile at everyone.
Mhm.
Made it a point to just, smile at everyone and say hi. And it's like, who thinks about? We don't even think about that, and that's the thing that I'm trying to do more in every day, and not live in the 90% of negative self-talk that we have. I'm trying to live in the other 10%, which is like, hey, what's up? It's all good. We're talking and we're alive, so that's the first part. So, what question do you have? What do you got?
I was actually curious, with your production company, do you
Yeah.
think you will act in or produce movies about the causes you care about special needs or the veterans, any type of movies like that?
Yeah, the movie. Well, the Bad Hurt is about, Bad Hurt is ultimately about a family, and my family in it, and my sister is special needs, with disabilities, and my brother is, a veteran, who's suffering from PTSD. So it's two issues that I'm heavily involved in with AVSP, a very special place, and the boot campaign. So right there. I'm drawn to real life stories. It's just kind of the way it is. My next two films are the same way. I'm drawn to that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy, the huge, giant films. Those are great, and they're a nice little break sometimes. But you definitely don't want to, have Marilyn Manson on top of you every single scene you do. You know what I mean? You'd rather just, have a little light film where you're kind of, saying hello here and there and just smiling at people. But I'm drawn to like kind of, real life and sometimes the darker stuff. And I'm also kind of drawn to just, things like that, issues that people have every day. That's the stuff that interests me. So for our company, we focus on like human stories, real life stuff that a lot of people just aren't telling anymore. And the films that do tell that, nobody really sees them. So it's kind of a catch-22 that we're battling with here. So hopefully, with the grace of God, that Bad Hurt will be shown where it'll be shown, and it'll be seen where it'll be seen, and people still are seeing movies like that. But even if they're not, that's kind of where I go to. And I think that's why Sons was such a hit, because at the heart of Sons, it's a family drama. At the end of the day, all that stuff, all the crazy stuff, Tig in his little robe and all the feeding cranks to Dobermans and me in a diaper and all that stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, it's a family drama about a family. And we're following this family and all the stuff that happens within them. So that's the stuff that interests me. So, yeah, maybe we'll see. I hope so. I'm reading a couple of scripts now for our next film, and they all kind of lean towards that. So yeah, we'll see.
That's great.
Thanks, Christina. Don't go anywhere because I'm coming back to you. All right, where am I at now? Wait, so I have Chrissy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You have to, Chrissy, your story is really incredible, and for anybody who didn't hear it, it's one of the ones that was like, just got me all like, back to, 2010 or 2011 juice. You have to tell everybody kind of about that story, because it's pretty incredible, and I'd like to hear people hear you say it.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Theo, for just talking to me right now. Like, it means the world to me. So it's a little bit of a long story, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. I met my sister-in-law right away. I knew that she was going to be someone that is very special to me. We hit it off right away. And right around the time that my brother-in-law brought her home, he was going to propose, and we were all, excited about it because she was great and she was just like me. So like I said, we hit it off right away. They got married, and then just like literally a few months later, she got diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and it was aggressive and it was scary, and she went through chemo, radiation, she had a double mastectomy, and then to end it all, she had to have a hysterectomy, which left her, unable to have a child of her own. Fast forward a little bit, me and my husband were, oops, I dropped my earbud, sorry. My husband and I were just about to welcome our son, and we were literally in the hospital, and we unknowingly to each other, we'd been thinking about it for a while, but we decided that day to offer to carry a child for his brother and his brother's wife. it's just two people in this world who deserve to be parents were being denied the chance to be parents, and I just didn't want it to happen, you know. And they're such beautiful people, and they deserve to be parents. So my husband and I decided right at Christmas time, they came home. They live south from us in South Carolina, and they came home for Christmas, and we told them at Christmas that we wanted to have a baby for them. And we went through IVF treatments and shots that hurt so badly. I can't even tell you, but they hurt really badly. And I got pregnant, and I had my niece on 11, 12, 13. Her name is Scarlet Grace. She's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just to see the love between that family makes everything, those stupid shots, everything worth it. And, you know, I got the awesome opportunity to be a parent, and I saw two people who really deserved to be parents and were being denied it, and I knew that I could do something about it. So I did something, and you know, never ever did I dream that I would feel the way I do about it. You know, I literally made someone's dream come true, and I wish that everybody could feel that, because it's just the most awesome feeling, and I'm just so thankful because she's my niece, and I get to watch her grow up, and she's beautiful, and you know, it's an awesome thing that I'll never ever you know, forget. It was just great.
It's an incredible story, and it's something that, you know, when we think of things, like I said, you know, it's things like that you're like, my God, you know, that's it, and you changing. There's another person in this world because of you. There's someone walking around that you know, and then who knows where, you know, Scarlet Grace, you know, what she's going to do, or her kids are going to do, or whatever. So it's every day. I mean, that is like literally a walking blessing. That's incredible. And I just think it's pretty amazing of you, and speaks volumes for your character. So, for us, it was, you know, a lot of the things we're trying to focus on, you know, at Go Get It Life is not just, you know, the doing for other people, but it's also what it's stuff coming, you know, getting yourself in a different position, you know, coming out of darkness into light, doing things, you know, from every way, because there's so many different ways to affect people, and that was just one of the incredible ways, and I'm really thankful. So thank you. Don't thank me for being here and talking to you. I think you're talking to me. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
So what do you got, Chris? What kind of question?
Okay, so I hope you don't mind, but I have to say hi to a couple of groups on Facebook that I belong to that are like so devoted to Sons. Sons, SOA Addicts Rehab, and SOA Addicts. I'm sure you've heard of them.
I know everybody in there. I've hung out with all of them.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the question that I came up with. So obviously we saw in the last episode that Mr. Sutter, all hail King Sutter, likes to reuse actors from previous shows. Yeah. And I just wondered, so you want to tell us if you are thinking about showing up a little bit on The Bastard Executioner?
Oh, man, you know, it's funny. Chick was like the last one, right? You know, because I'm a huge S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. Like, I'm a crazy S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. And for me, when Sons came on, and I remember thinking, if we could be half the show that the S.H.I.E.L.D. is, we're going to be fine. And because I was so, it was my favorite show ever on television. And when all of a sudden these guys started coming on to the show, Benito and Kenny and then ultimately Walton playing Venus, I and CCH, who I think is just like the greatest actress, I was like blown away by the fact that these people were now working with us. And then obviously The S.H.I.E.L.D. was one of those shows that came on, The S.H.I.E.L.D., Sopranos, and The Wire, before cable was what it is now, which is this juggernaut of, like, you know, Sons of Anarchy, Walking Dead, like everywhere. It was like, I would love to see what the Shield would be if it came on now. Would it be this, House of Cards, like big type thing?
Right.
Or, would it be, one of these 350 shows that I don't know. But so for me, when Chickless came on, if you remember back in season 5, I was in jail. And
you were watching it. Yeah. Yeah.
And we said we finally got Chickless on the show, end of season 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, wow, we finally got him on the show. And then to have him come back and obviously be such an integral part of the end was really cool. So my answer to your question would be, would I pop up? Here's the thing about me. I believe it's set in the 16th century, The Bastard's Executioner. They didn't really make my kind in the 16th century, I believe. I think everybody was very white and very so if I throw in blue contacts and get
maybe a dress,
a Scottish accent, dress, I could be a chambermaid or something at this point. You never know. And you never know with Kurt. So we'll see. I'm as excited as you guys, and I'm more excited. At one point or another, I'm going to start texting him to really move forward with a prequel series because I really want to see like the whole John Teller thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I want to see the Sons in the 70s. I want to see the formation of the whole thing. I think that would be pretty amazing because again, I'm such a huge fan. Either that or like, do it like in 10 years, do it where like, Abel's older and he's kind of like asking questions. Like one or the other I'll take,
You're saying what everybody says on social media right now.
But, for me, because it's like, like I say, Sons is like one of those shows I don't see it going away because it's such like it's embedded in our culture now. The Reaper's everywhere. It's like it's everywhere, and there's people now who are just starting to watch it in other countries and all this. So it's like the fandom's not going anywhere. Just like Walking Dead. They're doing like a spin-off series, and they're like another one set in a different time. It's like these are things these are like franchises in a way. Like the event. They just don't go away. So I hope, because again, I'm a huge fan of it. I could come back and play like a young Unser or something. I would love it.
I mean, why not? It would be perfect.
Yeah, or a young Tig, even though Tig will say he was probably like 3 years old when John Teller was alive.
You might have to grow hair to play a young Tig.
Yeah, have to grow hair. Yeah, we'll see. Well, you're the best. Don't go anywhere. Charmaine, I see you.
Thank you.
You look like you're in a music video over there with the flowers.
I know, right?
It's very cool. Very cool. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
It's really nice to hear from you. Where are you in England?
Birmingham.
Okay. Explain.
It's in like the middle of England.
Okay. Awesome. How far are you from all those maniacs out there filming The Bastard's Executioner? Where are they filming? In Wales? Or are they're based in London? I think the writers are in London, right?
Yeah, I think they're in London, which is about 2 or 3 hours away.
Okay. Cool. That's amazing. So I know your story, of course, and to me it was really important because it focused on a lot of things that mean something to me, and I've had friends deal with and people deal with, but it's also, I think, the greatest thing for me about it was also, like I've said, the big thing with Go Get It Life and the way it all started was about yourself, and kind of like, and by, because I've always been a big believer in by taking care of yourself and getting yourself out of a specific situation or a specific place, that everything else kind of falls in line. So please, if you can, and if you want, just tell everybody. That would be great.
Okay, well, 4 years ago when I was 17, I was at a friend's house and I woke up to find myself being sexually assaulted. And then just a year later, I was raped by my then boyfriend. And it completely destroyed me. I ended up having to drop out of college. I started self-harming, tried to kill myself, basically pushed everyone away, lost all my friends. weren't really doing anything with my life. But eventually I put myself through counselling and therapy and started opening up about what happened to me and stopped blaming myself, because that's all that had gone on in my head, was like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done to stop it? And then last year I finally felt like I was in the place where I could help other people that it had happened to as well. So I got in contact with a couple of charities and organisations based in Birmingham and started talking to other survivors, whether it was in person, on the phone, or via email and social media, whatever they were comfortable with, to just be a shoulder to cry on, someone that could listen to their story or point them in the direction of organisations and help that they could get, because I didn't have any of that. And that's what completely destroyed me and stopped me from basically living my life for nearly 3 years. And I don't want other women to have to go through the same. I don't want them to end up in the same position as I was when I was at the lowest point in my life.
You have no idea, one, how much I thank you for just telling that, and number two, just how I appreciate you so much. You have no idea, because it truly is like, you know, I know from my own life, you know, I mean, me, like everybody else, has, you know, demons and things that have happened and things that were, and it really is, you know, you start to obviously, you know, it could be as little as, you know, when my father left when I was young, what did I do? What did I do? I was a young kid, you know, but you start to blame yourself and think about all these things, right? And that's not juice, I'm talking about me. So the thing is like, I think it's pretty amazing, because you put yourself in a position not just to stop blaming yourself, because that's, you know, obviously that's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with you, you know, but also to help others. So I thank you so much, and I know everybody does, and I know, and that's why I also know how much that one story, that one person reads it, that one person it's like that's what it's all about. So I you know, like I said before, I appreciate you. I can't even come up with other words. And your amazing decor in the background. So tell me your question.
But first of all, I want to say thank you for when you portrayed Juice as suicidal, because you didn't cheapen it, and it was a very accurate portrayal that I felt really thankful for. And then my question was, what made you want to start working with so many different charities and start making a difference?
You know, a couple of years ago, you know, like I said, I was kind of like a different person for a while, you know, in my life. What happened was, it was like this kind of a series of events that just happened where it kind of reminded me, something happened where I had this, like, almost like this massive slap in the face from life, where I was like, I'm not going to be alive forever. Like, I'm not going to be here forever. Like, and I felt that the greatest thing that ever happened to me was that I feel every single minute that I'm going to die. I truly mean that. Like, and I'm like the healthiest person I know. I really feel that way, as in I'm chasing the clock all the time. And what I came to find is, like, what truly made me happy. I had to find what, like, really makes me happy, right? And years ago, I found that what genuinely makes me happy is helping other people. And in turn, what people don't realize is that it actually is helping me. As much as I'm trying to help other people, and everybody says, you know, you work for the Humane Society, you work for Boot Campaign, you go to Iraq, you do this, you know, you do a very special place with all the disabled people and all that. It's not about all that. Like, I'll do a different charity every day. I'll help people all day because it actually makes me feel good. It's like holding a door for someone. It's like saying God bless you. It's like, you know, saying please and thank you. It's like I feel better. I used to be one of those kids that got in fights all the times and did bad things, and I knew that I didn't feel good doing it. I still did it, but I knew that I wasn't. It was like anger and aggression, and I felt so wronged by so many things. And this just felt like a better way. And then the truth is, and I always said this, I don't believe in idolization of anyone. I don't believe in, like, you know, the whole celebrity thing and all that. But if there was one person I had to, when I got into this business later in my life, that I wanted to kind of follow as a blueprint, it was Paul Newman, because I thought he was the greatest actor to ever live. I thought that he was the greatest man, one of the greatest men to ever live for what he did. And I started seeing his life and the ways he went about it, and I thought, wow, this is pretty incredible. And I about him and seeing what he was doing, and it kind of led me, another thing that led me in this direction. And now, I mean, I'm just like, you know, it's like one of those things. I think you know, Marlon Brando says in like The Wild One, he say, what are you rebelling against? And he says, like, what do you got? My thing is, like, people say, what are you supporting now? I'm like, what do you got? I'll support anything. You know, I'm like, if it's something, you know, that I think can make a difference, who am I not to? And that's the only reason. The truth is, I said it last night, it's probably one of the really driving forces in why I try to excel so much in acting and producing, because I feel like to be that on this stage that I've been lucky enough to be put on, I can do the most, I guess the word wouldn't be the most damage, I could do the most help. Like, I could help the most people through having this, you know, thing. So that's what I do. That's what I'm gonna do that until, you know, the day I die, whenever that is. And I'm gonna hopefully, I still feel like I haven't done anything. I'm gonna try to do more and more every single day. So, you know, that's the reason, I guess, sort of. I don't even know. I just do things unconsciously. I just keep doing things. But you know, it's because, you know, Charmaine, and you know this, right? You know, I said this before, and I've always said this, you know, it's easy to be like, life sucks. It's easy to be like, man, this is terrible, life's terrible, read the newspapers, this is happening, that's terrible, that's terrible. And it's like, I just choose not to do that. I truly do. I just choose not to do it. I don't see the point. What's the benefit? What's the benefit of that? And we're all going to do that anyway sometimes. So what's the benefit of it? So yeah, that's why I'm doing it. And yeah, that's it. But you're amazing, and your story is amazing. And you know, it's funny. I just talked to, the reason I ran up here late, I was on the phone with Kim. I'm going to see Teague, and I are going to Chicago to do something, and you know, we're going to meet up down there. And you know, Sons is kind of like a special thing, because it did something to people, and I'm really lucky because, you know, Kim and I talk about it. Kim really got to do something pretty amazing, you know, over the years, and especially, you know, with, you know, the whole Venus thing, and there was a point to it, and this and that. And then, you know, for Juice, it was like, I love the fact that people hated him and then loved him, and then hated him and then loved him, and hated him. I love that, because I get people who come up to me every day, and they're so like, I think they think it's real. I don't know, you know, and I love that. That kind of means that it did its job. But what it's afforded me more than anything, Sons of Anarchy, is the fact that I can do things like this. I could talk to people like you, and I could hear Chrissy's story, and I could see Dave and Larry being all tough and hanging there, you know, and ready to kick somebody's ass, where, you know, everybody's just sitting in the back, you know. None of the girls want to talk to me. All the guys just want to talk. It's and you know, and to be here with everybody, you know, this means more to me than anything. And I deal with, you got to understand, I'm in a business with lunatics, like pure lunatics. Like these people in this business are out of their minds. And so, you know, it's a pleasure to do stuff like this. I answered every question, I think, at that point. So I know Dave has something to present, and I'm really excited for that. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping it's not a bust of Marilyn Manson or a poster. But let me see. Let's see what's going on over there in PA, where I have some family down there. So I'd like to see.
So listen,
yeah.
When you come to Pennsylvania to see your family,
yeah,
you got more family.
Oh, that's awesome. Just those few. Nomad. I definitely am a nomad. That is perfect.
There is a
flash in the pocket that says juice if you prefer to put that on.
Yeah, man. Either I love that, and I love. Listen, that's incredibly thoughtful, and I will definitely be hanging it somewhere. Maybe even next to the real one that's up there that I'm about to mount up. I actually just put up. I don't know if you guys saw. I just got from set was the Redwood Original, the leather thing with all the bullets that said Redwood Original. That was right behind the table. I have that now in my office behind me, well, in front of me now this way, which is really cool too. And then I also just got, oh, you know what you want to show them? Yeah, grab them that. Let's see if they know what that is. The thing in the desk, right there, in the glass. Oh. Yeah. I didn't want to put this on social media because people would think it's weird. You guys might know what this is. No, it's not like that. I'm one of those people, right? While everybody else is like giving hugs and crying, and they were all whatever, I was like, I'm taking everything from this, from the set, because the show meant so much to me. So I got some really, really cool stuff, and some of the stuff I'm actually going to be sending you guys. But one of the things that I got, and only some people know what this is, which is funny because I thought it was such a huge moment for Juice. Do you know what this is exactly?
Yeah.
Do you know what this gun meant on the show?
That was Clay's.
And what happened with it?
You set him up.
That's right. Remember, Jax made me set him up with that gun. And I wanted that so bad, that gun, because I thought and obviously it's a replica. FX wasn't going to send me a real gun. So I just wanted that, and then like I said, the let me see. I don't know if I can turn around. You guys can see that Redwood Original. It's fully across. Can you see that? No, they can't. Can they see that? They can't say it. Hold on.
I am caught on camera.
Hold on. I'm going to show you guys this. This I just put up.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then this is this one I had on the wall and I took it off because I keep thinking it's going to fall. Is that?
Oh yeah.
And then you saw how they did it with the chains. And then this is really cool that nobody knows that I have. A lot of my friends are, a lot of my buddies are Navy SEALs, and what one of them did when he was actually downrange, and I believe he was in Afghanistan, is they made a thing for me, for actually Tig and I, and I got it, of course. And it's this. What they did is they took this metal. Can you see this? They took this metal here, and they used like C4 and all that, and they put all this stuff on in the field, and they blew it up to get the etchings of the Sons of Anarchy logo, the Reaper and all that, and then he mounted it on an enormous piece of redwood. If you see that.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah, and that was another pretty awesome thing that, and it came right from the, wherever the SEALs were doing a mission, and they were out. Don't ask me why they were making that thing for me while they were on a mission, but so I am like the ultimate like Sons kind of hoarder. I grab a bunch of things, and so I have some really cool stuff, and I think a lot of people are probably like questioning. They're like, "Well, how come I didn't get anything?" That's because I have everything. So I will definitely be adding that to my collection, and I think that's really, really thoughtful, you guys. And everybody here, I just want to say this has been a huge thing for us. We're hoping that we're going to keep continuing building Go Get It Life day by day, and supporting more charities, and and doing anything we can, from events to to selling shirts, to everything we can to give back to to everywhere, not just our community, but literally everywhere at this point. And we're hoping it becomes like a little bit of a movement here, and just so more people can hear stories like you guys have, because they're important. Whether people know it or not, they're important because, you know, sometimes, and, you know, we were just saying it with Charmaine and you know, with other people, sometimes it's easy to go to that other place. So I thank you guys more than anything. We're going to say goodbye to all them, and then we'll all talk because we don't want them listening. So thank you all. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and go get it. Do your thing. Bye.